The title of this talk is called an improved cutting plane method for convex optimization and also Convex-Concave games and with some other applications. So this work is done well, like most of us were waiting Simons and Berkeley last year. So today what I'm going to tell you is I'm telling you how to use a technique from sketching and streaming and to solve some problem in another field like optimization. For example, like improve a linear program algorithm or like a cutting plane algorithm. So the talk will like hierarchize between switch between LP and cutting plane, but I will try to have a clear description. So here I would like first tell you like what is sketching, what's the meaning of sketching in practice, and in practice like if you have a picture of some person or some animals and you actually can like modify the picture or like change the picture slightly, and then like we call it, the picture becomes smaller or like another like a representation, and then when you look at the picture again, you still know what's before. This is called like sketch. You just look at like images. Here, just to give you some examples of like how do we do sketch. Okay, for example, if you have some picture like Ave Vixen, and remember like a few years before he has a 60 years birthday, and here like then people make a picture and every pixel in the new picture is one of his co-author. And this is one way to sketch. Okay. And there's another way to sketch. For example, if we have this picture, can anyone guess what's a sketch? So what I will do is I just keep the color and then write the name there. You can still tell which it is, right? It's clear. Like, okay, there is some other way to do sketching. For example, we have this picture, and if you go to online, there are some tool called like turn the picture to ASCII code, and you can generate a bunch of like characters from like A, B, C, D, Z, and you can still distinct who he is. Yeah. You can try your picture. Yeah. Okay. Okay, usually like a most natural way to sketch is we have someone picture, then we just draw a sketch of this boundary of the guy, and it looks like this. Okay, is everyone clear about sketching? Here, next I would like to describe like what's the meaning of sketching in theory or in like a numerical linear algebra. So this idea like originally from like Ken Clarkson and Dodge for stock 13 paper. And then like David later survey and describe more ideas how to use sketching to solve more and more numerical linear algebra problems. So we usually call it like a sketch and solve. The idea is roughly the following. If I give you a matrix A, think of a matrix is a very tall matrix, and you also have a vector B, and say like n is much larger than D. And my goal is just trying to like solve this linear regression problem, and I want to find an x where ax times x is going to be close to B. And in practice, usually I cannot find the exact x, and I'm going to define some like approximation version of the guarantee here. So for example, I want to output x prime, and such that the ax prime minus b is going to be at most 1 plus epsilon times the cost achieved by the best vector x.
Both A and B are given as input?
Yeah, both A and B are given as input. They are worst case. Yeah, we are doing theoretical computer science. We don't make any exception on A and B. Okay, we can assume there is some solver for this one. You can run like a gradient descent or some other things, whatever. There are some solver for this problem. And you just load A and B, you are going to solve this problem. And instead of solving this run a solver on this problem, original problem directly, so we are going to choose a sketching matrix, which I call S. So S is a very fat matrix, has like only a few number of rows, and it kind of like the idea is you cannot compress n to be some small number s, where s is poly d and 1 epsilon and log n. So now like we can argue like we're just working on a new problem, which is the minimum x of sax minus sb, and this is called the sketch version of our original problem. So what I'm going to do is I can argue like the solution of this new problem, and if you load it back to be the original, load back to the original problem, and it will give you a same, roughly like 1 plus epsilon guaranteeing. And then like in practice, what I'm going to do is I'm just first compute S times A, then compute S times B, and then load it into solver. This is called like a sketch and solve, and we just reduce the size of the original problem, and we don't modify the solver, and we just load the problem, new problem, small problem to the solver, and ask the solver to solve the problem for me again. And in this case, then the solver will run much faster, because the problem size is going to be reduced.
But you pay by computing S times A.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good point. And in practice, there are some way we can choose S to be some very sparse matrix. Then like S times A only take NZ of A time, which is input sparsity. Yes, a very good question. Yeah, that's the main point of doing sketch. If A, for example, if S is very dense and the S times A, you have to pay like a matrix multiplication time. Then like A inverse, you just solve the original A times A inverse B, or only like a very expensive. Yeah. And also this idea only works for like N is larger greater than D. Like if N is the same as D, this doesn't work. It's no point to sketch. Yeah, at the end you just run a solver, A on this small problem, then you are done. So this sketching technique has some applications, and the classical, the most like early idea, we use it to do like a linear regression I described in the prior slide, and we also use it to do like something called like a low rank approximation. And interestingly, there are some ideas. There are a lot of variations of this combined sketch with some other ideas. So for example, you can combine this sketching idea with something called like polynomial system solver, and you can reduce like an n variables to something like a d variables. Then instead of paying 2 to the n time, you can pay 2 to the d time, and which is also nice in theory. So today I'm going to talk about some new ideas, and all the previous ideas, they just don't change the solver, and they just reduce the size of the original problem, then use the solver to solve a small problem for you. And now I'm going to tell you how to modify the solver into sketching. So actually, if you look at linear program solver or like a cutting plane solver, they are more like running an iterating algorithm. So what I'm going to do is I will like plug in like sketching matrix into each iteration of the solver, and then I can actually, because each iteration allows some errors, and if even I plug sketch again, it just makes sure the error is not blow up too much. Then like at the end, your algorithm still converge. But you can hope to speed up the cost of iteration. That's the idea we call like iterating a sketch. This is completely different from like a sketch and solve, because sketch and solve never open the solver, but here we need to open the solver. In the talk, we'll just focus on the cutting plane thing. And the cutting plane, you should think of like cutting plane is a more power like solver than like original LP solver, because cutting plane solver can be applied to LP directly. So there are some like correlation and intersection I will explain in the talk. So I will start with definition of LP. So definition following: if I give you like a matrix A and a vector B and another vector C. So if you look at this matrix A and vector B, they are going to form a blue region on this like a 2-dimension, and this is a convex region. So now I'm going to like choose my C vector is going to be like +3 and +2, and this is going to decide the angle like in this 2-dimension. And the time we solve LP is we just like keep pushing this green line, this orange line, and until it touches the boundary of this blue region, then we actually solve the linear program. So this problem has a long history, and original like is according to Wiki is like as early as like fully in like 200 years before, and the very early time algorithm is called like a simplex algorithm. Is developed by George Dentisek. This is a very famous algorithm, and this algorithm like working very well in like a practice, has amazing like practical performance. But in theory, like it's unclear. At some point, it's unclear whether it's a polynomial time algorithm or it's a exponential time algorithm. until like clean meeting, and they give a common example, and saying like, okay, well, if you run your algorithm on this example, it will take like equation time to converge. So another thing is like a simple algorithm like is not just one algorithm, is a broad family of algorithms, and if you when I discussed with someone, they told me like if you want to like, you cannot just create, it's not even clear you can create like one cube to rule out all the algorithms, but for any algorithm there is a cube. That's what I know. And then like in 2004, like Daniel Spielman, Shanghua Teng, they actually use something called like smooth analysis, and they use this idea to explain like why this simple algorithm working very well in practice. Yeah, I found this picture online. They attend some like celebration. I'm not sure for this one. Maybe for the like Laplacian solver. I don't know. Yeah. And even like we understand like this simple algorithm, and there is still like question like how fast can we solve LP. So we want like eventually like like how long it takes if we just give the optimal solution of LP. And in 1979, elliptic also is the first algorithm, which is give a polynomial time algorithm. And but the problem of this algorithm is this algorithm has very, very bad performance in practice. And even this algorithm came up and no one is using it. And people still using like a simplest algorithm because it's working very well in practice. And then like later, like there's a new algorithm called like interior point method. And this algorithm like it can show like a better like a theory performance. It's also working well in practice. And for the last 30 years, and this algorithm, the interior point method, like is actually need to run like n to the 2.5 time. Here you just think like the matrix is roughly a square matrix, like a number of variables and number of constraints, they are both n. And here like L is a bits, like a number of bits, like you need output for the strings. And then like there is a long time open question like whether we can beat this 2.5. So in the later slides, I will describe like roughly where is this bottleneck from. And here I just show you the result of our LP result paper. And we can actually show like if you want to solve linear program, it only takes n to omega time. And where omega is like the current exponent of the matrix multiplication. And the community like believe like this omega is going to be 2 eventually. But right now like we still have no idea what's the right answer. So Josh Elmon proved some lower bound like but a very like a restriction lower bound. His lower bound is saying like for most of the like existing algorithms, we cannot have a hope to be like a 2.16 somehow. But he not rule out like all the algorithm. He just rule on like the existing techniques.
Based on what? This low bound?
Some properties of tensor n.
Yeah, I think
Your one has a simpler way of explaining.
Oh.
More general.
Oh, really? Go ahead.
But anyway.
Yeah, you can explain it.
Yeah, I just want to ask. So that algorithm, if matrix multiplication constant improves, the algorithm improves.
That's a very good point. I'm actually slightly cheat here. So actually, we actually need n to the omega plus n to the 2 plus 106. Because like for the talk, the main purpose is not like talking about LP, talking about constraint. I'm just trying to simplify the thing. And I say that this is the current matrix multiplication time. Yeah, if matrix multiplication omega goes down to like 2 plus 106, our algorithm still same match. But if it goes below, and we are remaining 2 plus 106. Yeah, and the interesting thing is Josh Elmon's lower bound is 2.168. It's actually slightly above the bottleneck we are stuck here, like 2 plus 106. But he's just like what he's proving here is saying like my understanding is like most of the matrix multiplication algorithms, they are trying to like smartly like build the tensor or organize a tensor in a smart way. And they are only limited way of like building these tensors, limited methods. And he is saying like for all the way we know how to build this tensor, like you can build like for example, you can build like a 3 times 3 or 3 times 8 or 7 times 7 times 8, something like this. And even no matter like how do you choose these numbers, and it eventually won't give you something below like 2 plus 1 or 6 somehow. That's what he proved. He not like rule out all the technique, all the algorithm, just a very special way of algorithm. Yeah, and the reason why I like this algorithm, actually, I'm still cheating because we are not just depend on 2 plus 1 or 6. We also depend on something called like a dual equivalent of matrix multiplication constant. I'll explain later in the talk. So if you look at the LP paper. So. And also like even the good thing of this paper is like even like we want to solve like AX equal to B, the best algorithm we know is just inverting the matrix, which takes n to omega time. Yeah, but given like the development of the history of the matrix multiplication constant, I'm not worried about too much. They will beat 1 or 6 in a very short time, because as far as I know, not much people is working on this thing. And yeah, I told Virginia and Josh they believe this is not possible in some way. And we also emailed Gail, who gave the best constant right now. He said he's doing quantum now. Yeah. In time now, we are actually very curious about whether there is a way to actually beat something. And we emailed him, and he somehow said, "Well, I'm not doing this thing anymore." Yeah. Yeah, here is just a table like of the history of LP, how it's changing. So at the beginning, it takes equilibrium time, and then like in 1979, we know how to do it, solve it in polynomial time roughly n to the 6, and then like we can keep push down until Vidia's algorithm in 1989. It takes n to 2.5, and if you look at the algorithm developed in last 30 years, and although they cannot beat n to 2.5, but in some special case like n is much larger, or the matrix is sparse, or the rank is small, the algorithm can run better than n to 2.5.
What is the improvement of D and C for the value?
So they improve the iteration to be like from n to root n to be root d. Like when n is much larger than d, they can do like root d iteration, not root n iterations.
I see. So it's only in the unbalanced case.
Yeah. They also have some like a new thing. They also have like input sparsity. Like they more like is input sparsity plus root d plus n squared times something like this.
Okay. So but there are improvement because it looks like the same result, but
yeah. So yeah, because here I choose a d, and because if I write down all this result, it's unclear how to compare them. So here, I mean, I'm saying so basically like in some special case, like the 1904 algorithm and 2014 and 15 algorithm better than this algorithm, my algorithm. But in this worst case, like if A is 4 rank and N and D are roughly the same, and this N is very dense, and the best thing is n to omega.
So I'm confused. So the running time in your algorithm is actually into the omega times L, or not?
Yeah, times L. Yeah, you have to pay.
Omega equals 2. Then what's the running time?
Then it's 2 plus 1 over 6.
2 plus 1 or 6.
Plus 1 over 6.
Yeah, this L beta is beta complexity, not something else.
Yeah, but so right now this is like the correct running time for the current value of omega.
Yeah. The correct running time is 2.37. Yeah.
It's just a little bit misleading somehow.
Oh yeah. Because if I need to write 2 numbers, I need to make this column, last column slightly wider.
Yeah.
It's just ugly.
Yeah, I just wanted to
no,
be
it's not that big of a deal. You can call
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
C,
sure.
which is
Omega
the
prime.
minimum of omega into the
Oh.
max.
exactly. Yeah.
That's what-
Oh yeah. Okay.
Maximum.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm in the spirit of making wrong slides.
Yeah, I just feel like if someone asks me, I'll explain. But yeah, sure, that's a good point. Any questions so far? Okay, in next slide, I will just give you a table of the cutting plane algorithm before I tell you what is cutting plane. There is still a long history, and the very early algorithm, they use something called ellipse algorithm, which takes square iterations, which is the first row. So here S times SO is a time for an oracle evaluation. And in this cutting plane framework, you have some oracle, and which is given to you. And you are not allowed to design it, you are not allowed to change it, you just use it. And you want to use this oracle to solve some problems for you. And at the end, you will how to define how efficient is your algorithm. You will just count how many times you call these oracles, and also some extra computations. So if you look at complexity column, and the first number SO times something, the something is the number of times you call this oracle, and the last term is some other extra calls that you need to spend eventually. Okay, in this problem, we use something called iterative sketching, and basically you can ignore most of the tables, just look at the VDA row, and we basically improve the VDA algorithm from n to the omega plus 1 log kappa to n2 cubed times log kappa. Basically, if omega equals 2, we are not doing anything. VDA already gives the best.
So why this algorithm does go down with omega?
Exactly. That's a good point, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but this VDA's algorithm is another. So basically, in 1989, VDA read 2 papers. One paper gave the best LP algorithm, one paper gave the best cutting plane algorithm. This is another paper. Yeah, I should make it AB somehow. Yeah, I forgot. It's same year, same conference, actually. Yeah, in Fox, yeah. From another perspective, and we basically improved this for the 2015 algorithm from n cubed log kappa 3 to n cubed log kappa. And we just improve some log factor. But in some applications, like in game theory or economics market problems, this kappa can be 2 to the n. And in that case, this log square kappa is going to be important and matters.
So what is capital R?
So at the beginning, you have your starting ball is capital R, and eventually you will stop at some ball which has radius epsilon.
Okay, it's just balls
Yeah.
around your convex.
Exactly, yeah. You are more doing a binary search from big R to the small epsilon, and that's why you have to pay a log of the kappa, where kappa is roughly n over epsilon, n times R over epsilon. Yeah, very good question. Yeah, so one quick reason is why VDA's algorithm goes down when omega goes down, because VDA's algorithm, he didn't use something called dual equivalent. He doesn't use rectangular mesh multiplication. And in our paper, we somehow need to balance the, there are 2 places we have the number where we use do fast rectangular mesh multiplication. You want to balance these 2 numbers, we have to pay 2 plus 1 or 6. Okay, now I will give you a definition of cutting plane method. So I give you oracle, as I promised in the previous slides. And there are a convex set, as Avi described. So the convex set K has to be contained in a box of radius R. Okay. And my oracle has the following property. So I can load a vector into this oracle. And if the X is not in the convex set, and the oracle will just output a hyperplane which separates the X and the K. And if X is in the convex set K, and it will just output yes. So this is, so the only thing I can do for the oracle is I just give a vector. And you tell me you have 2 possibilities. You either tell me a hyperplane or you tell me yes. So eventually, my goal is the following. So I either need to tell you a point in K, or I actually prove this set K then contain a ball of radius epsilon. So actually, one like a naive application or like a stupid application is you can actually use the cutting plane method to solve linear program. And basically, like you can implement the oracle function the oracle. It is an LP algorithm, LP problem, and you can implement this Convex-K to be this one. And then like every iteration, you just call this oracle, and this oracle you do it yourself. And this oracle roughly takes n squared time to implement. And because the cutting plane algorithm take like an iteration somehow, and in the eventually you will take like n cube time, and which is like worse than the cutting plane, which is worse than the current LP solver. But there are some other applications for using cutting plane. I will describe later. So here, just give you a more like a concrete example. How do we like use this convex like oracle to actually go like cut my like a convex region and eventually find a point for you? So I give you a convex set K. It's associated with the oracle. And let SO denote the time whenever we call this oracle. And for any coordinate point Z, and if here like the green rectangle, infinite rectangle, is your starting point, which has radius capital R. And this red like a region, the red polytope is a convex region. And oracle knows it, you don't know it. So whenever I load a point into the oracle, so for example in this case, if my point is inside this red region, my oracle will just tell me yes. And if this Z is not in the oracle, but it has to be between like in the region of the green record box and outside of the convex set, and in this case like the oracle will tell me a hyperplane. And it's important that this hyperplane cannot go across the red convex region, because if it crosses the red region, like eventually if every iteration is cut by something, eventually you have nothing about the red thing. You just died. So it's important this is actually a separation hyperplane. That's why I call it like a separation oracle. So if Z is not in the a convex set, and it will return a hyperplane, this is like a dashed green line. And then my algorithm I'm going to do is I'm going to like merge this new constraint with my original like a constraint set, and then my green region is actually shrinking by this small amount. I just need to make sure like every iteration the green region is going to shrink a bit, and eventually after some iteration, the green region is going to be very, very close to the red region. Then at that point, I ask the query in my green region, it will be very likely the point is going to be your red convex region. That's how like a cutting plane working, how we use it. So the main result is roughly following. We can give like a cutting plane algorithm. It runs like roughly like a n times log kappa oracle cost with this cost, and also plus n cube times log kappa time. So the first term is actually like a necessary. You have to pay this like n times log kappa number of iterations. And the second term, and we believe log kappa is necessary. And the n cube here, at some point, we believe this n cube may be something like n to omega plus 1/2. Because like a cutting plane and LP, they have the root n differences for the iterations. We believe maybe they are possible to get that thing. But then like there are some fundamental issue we believe it's not possible. We don't know how to prove something harness, but we believe this is not possible.
Yeah, so then what is the low bound? That's not. It's an oracle model, so there must be some low bound.
So the first one you have the yeah, the first one you have no
times n log kappa is a low bound.
Yeah.
And the other one you don't.
So the total number of the total number of calls over all iterations, we don't know any lower. There are some trivial lower bound, but we don't know if n cube is necessary.
It could be even just log kappa, right? Maybe n is not involved there.
So I think you have to pay like n squared because you need to write down the matrix, or you need to read the matrix. Like
Oh, good, yeah.
yeah. I think
It's multiplicative.
yeah. I think n squared times log kappa is a lower bound for the second term. Yeah, but that's just a trivial lower bound. Yeah, good question. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, no other questions. Okay. Good. Okay. Next, I will give you like a brief like idea how this algorithm working. This is just original VDS algorithm. It's actually very simple. So in the input at the beginning, you have some matrix A and B and vector B. So there are some initialization point Z you choose, and it could be the center of some polytope. And I'm not going to define how do we define polytope here. So in contemplation, there are like n iterations, and so M is the number of like a constraint in the matrix A. Number of constraints. Constraints. So basically, the idea is in every iteration, I need to either remove remove one constraint from my A matrix A, or I'm going to insert a new constraint into this A.
You're going to solve a linear program using this method.
I'm just describing the cutting plane algorithm.
For a linear program.
No, not for linear, just a general cutting plane algorithm.
A and B.
It's the polytope or?
In the way you described that.
Oh, yeah.
Was just,
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah.
Convex-Concave.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. Okay, let's say we just do LP. Okay, let's say just we do LP. I think there are some transformations. It's not very clear to me for now. But
For this type, for this special case, there are no low bounds. Like SO doesn't play a role now. I mean, you could compute everything with Amazon and all that, right?
wait, sorry, I don't understand the question.
To solve this linear program, you don't need a separation of it.
Oh yeah.
You could use it, but if you want.
Oh yeah.
Maybe there's some linear time algorithm for it.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Yeah. To solve LP, I don't need to use this separation algorithm.
But you're going to use it.
Yeah, I'm just going to use it. Yeah.
No.
And that's the only thing you need.
You're gonna keep asking that I can ask what.
No, I mean, so, okay, it's, you're mixing the two. I just don't know where you're going. You can continue and then maybe I'll ask.
Yeah. So I'm sort of mixing the two things together in some way, but
So I thought the A was the constraint matrix and then you were solving the linear program, which is minimizing some.
so the point is that you actually basically turn the
It's a feasibility problem.
Yeah.
You want to know, it's like testing whether it's an empty set, but not empty. You're giving some epsilon. You just want to know that it's either too small or find a point in it. That's the task. It's another version of linear program.
yeah.
Yeah, but you're not allowed, you're given A, but I don't know what you'll do with A if you're using the separation oracle.
I think
Well,
A is
you
the
can
output
continue
bounding.
it
What
then.
is
I think for now maybe just think like A and B they are the polytope
Yeah.
at the beginning of the cutting plane algorithm. The green are infinite ball.
I understand, but they're given to you or they're.
As the green one, so
The green-
possible place where
The green one is your initialization like polytope, and when you keep running this cutting plane, you will modify this green polytope to be smaller and smaller.
Not the green color, it's the box around it.
yeah, but that is the box around it.
This green
Is the box.
yeah, A and B is the box, yeah.
I see, A and B is the box, good, it's a convex set. So, okay, you are describing it like this, but that's really the inner loop. You start from a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, I start from this box. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. So sorry. Sorry what?
You get that now, yeah.
Sorry what?
That's why the others are green.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you're not
Yeah.
solving linear programming. We are back to what you said before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Linear.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so initially it's maybe minus 1, 1 to the n or something like this, or minus 2 to the n plus 2 to the n.
Yeah.
And now we start iterating this.
Yeah.
I see, but there's some hidden convex set that's given by separation over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just trying to describe the progress of picture like iteratively, every iteration I'm running on a picture. So my matrix A has m constraints, so I'm going to compute some score respect to Z and this convex region. I'm not going to define how to compute a score, and there are some scores, and which can describe which constraint is more important than the other one. For example, if you two constraints they are like this, the angle is very close, and then you don't need to keep 2 because it's actually redundant. That's roughly intuition. Why do you need to remove sometime? So you first compute all the scores, and then the point is all of the scores is at least a delta, and you basically invoke this oracle at point Z, and if Z is in the set, and you just return a Z, you are done. If Z is not in the set, and you are going to obtain a new constraint, and then you will insert to this just there are no S, just insert a new constraint. You will insert it into this convex region.
I see. So it will always go, right? It will add this.
Yeah. And this is the case where when all the scores are big, you need to insert a constraint. But at some point, if I sort all the scores, and I give a sorting of them, and suppose m is the smallest one, and if m is below some threshold, then I need to remove this constraint from my convex polytope. And then I just update my Z because my convex green region is changed. I need to update the center.
So we should think of you remove an inequality already in the green box. You are really close to the boundary of K.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't assume that K is a polytope.
No, I don't need to assume that. Yeah.
Can you say again what is the score in the difference with the ith?
I didn't say what is score I. I'm not going to define it for this slide. There are some way to measure how important is one constraint, something called level score.
But it's indexed by constraints.
It's respect to depend on A, B, and Z.
Can you say what an example when you would remove a constraint?
Oh, in the example when I need to remove constraint is if this is my constraint, and I also have this two. I need to keep both these two when this two angle is very, very tiny. Like when this.
It should depend on Z as well. The score doesn't depend on constraints.
No, it depends on constraint. I just didn't put it here. The score is depend on A and B. Depend on A and B.
Of course,
Sorry,
but
yeah.
also on Z.
Yeah, depend on Z.
I don't see it here. Like, the question is this: you run the algorithm. At some point, the score decreases. This only depends on the fact that Z is changing.
No, it depends on A and B, and both Z are changing. I think default all of them are changing.
Yeah.
I'm not totally sure now, but my feeling is that I kind of forgot.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it depends on all of them. For safe, let's say for all of them are changing. Okay. But I'm pretty sure you need it depends on A and B, but I'm not sure you actually need B, C, Z. Because Z depends on A and B again. Right, so, okay. This is just algorithm. So, and in next slide, I will roughly tell you where is the bottleneck of the calculation or computation from. I'm not going to show you the optimization proven anything for this optimization framework. So in cutting plane method, there is a big difference between LP, you use the interior point method to solve LP and use interior point method to solve cutting plane. Is in cutting plane method, the constraint matrix A is changing over all the iterations, because you need to remove one constraint, delete one constraint to make sure your convex region is shrinking, matching the red one. But in LP, this one is not changing. So that's for easy to understand where the bottleneck of calculations. We just think A is changing, A is fixed over time. Okay, I need to define some W vector, which is W matrix, which is diagonal matrix or some W vector. And right now I'm going to roughly tell you where, or how do we actually compute the scores, or why it's expensive. So there are capital T iterations.
So sorry, the previous algorithm is not what you're going to use. You're not going to change A.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. the progress algorithm. So the problem is not I'm going to describe for now. Yeah, because in here I'm going to describe things like A is not changing, but they are very close.
So anyway, you are describing a new algorithm.
No, I'm just describing in one iteration like what are the computation from. I'm not describing any algorithm. I'm just trying to show like in one iteration where is the computation bottleneck. That's the only thing I'm trying to describe.
When you
Is
compute
related
the
to the
scores?
previous slide? Or
Yeah,
not?
yeah.
This is related to the previous slide or not?
Sorry, what?
Is this related to the
Yeah,
previous slide?
I think he's trying to zoom in the previous slide and
Yeah, where?
explain. He's now computing the scores
Yeah.
and show how computationally heavy this this is.
This diagonal matrix of P is the scores.
Okay, so you are just focusing on the previous just computation of the score.
Yeah. I'm just focused on compute.
But there is a line that's saying that A is fixed over all iterations. This is not what happens in the algorithm.
Yeah, this is not what happened to the algorithm. I'm just trying to make you like a simple, easier like for now. Because W is also changing and.
So it's not reconsider. Let's assume
Yeah,
for
yeah,
simplicity.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Let's
yeah.
assume
Let's assume for simplicity, A is not changing. Okay, for now, and basically I have a fixed A. My W is changing over all iterations. The W is some function of Z, and C is just a linear for now. Okay, for easier thinking, and at every iteration, I need to like look at the diagonal matrix of this projection matrix P of W. So this matrix is inside has an inverse, and outside has a square root of diagonal matrix times A, and the outside A transpose times the square root of diagonal matrix. So this is more like a matrix generalization of two numbers divided by each other. So when you have like two numbers A divided by B, you can just write down A divided by B. But when you have two matrices, you want to write down like a matrix A divided by matrix B. How do you do it? One idea is you can actually write down like a B minus inverse on the left and B minus inverse on the right. You basically have B minus inverse 1/2 times A times B 1 minus inverse. This is just a easy way of thinking. This is just a matrix generation of some two numbers divided by each other.
So which are the matrices which are divided by each other?
So, like if you look at this, okay, so this is like A transpose WA, this inverse, and you can make this one to be half in some way.
I'm not trying to just ask in your analogy.
Uh,
The question is like dividing two numbers. Yeah, what are the two matrices? Okay.
yeah. Yeah, I should put a transpose here. Yeah, if with a number you just think of this way, and it's a matrix, you need to put a half on both sides.
And why are we what's the intuition about PW, P of W? What does it capture?
The diagonal entry is trying to capture the importance of each constraint of A. That's the only thing.
P of W will be a term.
No. P of W is a matrix. It's a dense matrix. Everywhere has value. But if you look at the diagonal entry of this projection matrix P of W, and the S coordinate, the II coordinate, is going to describe how important is S row of A.
The off diagonals are the like effective resistance between 2 points or something.
Yeah, but we don't care about off diagonal term. Yeah.
This type.
Yeah.
And it's a projection matrix. To what dimension will it project?
We call it projection because this one times himself is himself.
I understand, but to what dimension will it project? So it's a projection matrix, so it will project
Okay.
space to a smaller subspace.
It's more like I'm not sure this thinking is correct. It's more like if you think of the number of constraints more than number of variables, is more like a project the variable space to more like a project the constraint space to variable space. Because this matrix only have rank n. But yeah, but this matrix has size m to m, but rank only n by n. Yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Yeah, and here like this is a projection matrix. If every iteration like even a is not changed and w is changing, like if we compute this matrix, because there is an inverse computation, and also you need to deal with some matrix. So now just think m equal to n, and you need to compute this matrix inverse. In every interior, you already take n to omega. You also need to compute like after you compute this inverse, you need to compute this matrix dot this matrix. It also takes another n to omega time. And you also eventually need to, as for some tasks, you need to care about like this matrix dot some vector h, which is matrix vector multiplication time, and also give you a square bottleneck. So like even you can improve the first two bottlenecks and the last bottleneck, or like you just write down this whole matrix again. It has n square entries, and it's just unclear how do you beat like a n square cost superposition in some way. And so surprising here is in linear program, when a is not changing, like we can beat the n square, but in cutting plane, if every time like a is changing one row or delete one row, we believe we cannot beat it. So here is just like a more like a maintenance problem. I'm just tell you like a streaming or maintenance problem without telling you what is optimization framework. So I give you, suppose I just give you, for ease of thinking, we just give you a fixed matrix A. Because if A is changing, only makes the problem harder. And I give you a bunch of sequence vector W. And I have this projection matrix. And so the goal is the following. I want to like compute another sequence of like V. And such that V is roughly equal to W. And also like a P of V is actually roughly equal to P of W. So a naive, like or stupid way, I can just output the V is equal to W. And it will satisfy this guarantee. But the bad thing is I need to recompute P from scratch every iteration. So the hope is we compute this V, we give an approximation of WV, and then we can actually speed up the P of V computation. And then when we use it, it's still okay for us. Just think about P as a function of this, some function should be found. We call this problem, we call it projection maintenance problem. And if you just look at the inside inverse, it's called inverse maintenance. And both LP need this too. And in cutting plane method, you are not just only you need the first two, you also need the last one. You need to care about diagonal entries. That's one reason like cutting plane is harder than LP. And in cutting plane, A is also changing. Sorry. Yeah. So roughly like the problem is the idea is following like I give you a bunch of sequence W, and you need to generate a bunch of sequence V, and make sure V is roughly close to W, and the P of V is roughly close to P of W, and P of V is much cheaper to compute or maintain. And the way we view this idea is like we think like W is your dog, and V is a human. Like you want to walk with your dog, like but sometimes your dog is doing some stupid thing, like it just keeps turning a circle. But at this point, you don't need to move. And that's roughly because like this is iterating algorithms. This W is not changing W is changing, but it's not the worst case changing. It's changing only very slowly, and average case changing. That's why there are hope you can actually do this thing. If W is changing in the worst case day, and if you can beat n squared, then you will refute like a online matrix vacation conjecture. That seems too strong. So and also here we are just doing approximate way.
So is there a way to formalize what it means that W is slowly changing? Can you formalize for us what it means
yeah.
that W?
Yeah, the next slide.
Yeah, okay.
Just exactly. That's a very good question. Yeah, this is how W is changing. So basically you are saying like you look at all the coordinates, and the expectation is going to be small, conditioning like the WT is given, and also like variance is going to be small. It's more like your next WT plus 1 is a random vector around this current WT, but very close. That's a nature of thinking.
There is nothing random in the algorithm. What does expectation mean?
The expectation means like you are, instead of doing a gradient descent, you are doing a stochastic gradient descent. And the randomness is more like a stochastic gradient descent version somehow. Yeah. And here you basically want to like design some data structure for you, and you can actually maintain this. You have the PIV, and you want to use n-square space, and you want to maintain something, and every time you see a W, you will output a V, and they are close, and you want to spend like a subquadratic time. And also whenever you have your quadratic active H, and you also can do the same thing. And we cannot support like for the look at diagonal, because for diagonal you have to pay n-square. You cannot beat this n-square bottleneck. And here is the picture, roughly like an infinite intuition. You have dogs, and this blue is a human walking the dog. And when dog is moving, human need to chase. And when dog keep moving, by this point the human doesn't need to move, because the dog move back. And when dog move again, I need to chase. And when the dog keep moving, I need to keep chase. And moving and chase, and at some point, you just keep walking the dog. As you can see, if you look at the orange trail, this is a dog, the moving dog, and maybe the blue one is a human. And this blue one is actually better and shorter than the orange one. And for the worst case, the dog will take like a n-square or n to omega time, but the human, because it's chasing very smartly and lazily, and we can hope amortize, we can beat a small of n-square time.
It's like some one server problem, but you don't, right? It's like these server problems when they are called, you know what I'm talking about, like K-server problems.
Oh.
It's a one server problem, and you don't have to be very close.
Yeah. This
This type of algorithms are not relevant?
Oh, they are not relevant, yeah. Yeah, they are not, because they are more like care about regret, and here we are care like a cost of penetration, which is something it's not comparable in some way, but they are not relevant. The one way we do it is like we choose some like a random sketching matrix, and this sketching matrix is a very fast matrix, if you remember from prior slides, or the first few slides. Okay, so we have this like a big projection matrix, and the idea is, okay, I need to run fast. The idea is I need to like sketch down this embedding matrix to be some small dimension, say like S is root n. So if I can like pre-compute my projection matrix with S transpose, and then in the future when I say H, I just compute S dot H, then compute this whole thing again, I can save some root n factor. And there are multiple ways to sketch, and you need to do some calculation to see which one is working. So I'm not going to explain here.
So the sketching matrix is like preserving L2 norms?
Okay, next slide. Very good question. Yeah, what is sketching matrix will preserve? So the projection, there are a bunch of projection matrices. First, like random Gaussian, or subsample Hahnemann matrix, or like consketch, or like this is sparse matrix. And in classical, like as you said, like we preserve L2 norm. This is called like a self-embedding, proposed by Zhao in 2006. And you have a matrix A, and you want to say like for all the vector H in the subspace, and SA times H is very close to like A times H. This is called like a L2 self-embedding. And there are also something called like a KRIP.
This is different than Johnson-Winters one?
Johnson-Winters only works for a fixed set of points, and you need to apply unit bound to get here. Just apply trivial unit bound, it's true.
What does Sarlos do?
Sarlos, hey, I think he defines this thing. And he also uses sketching to solve the like regression problem before David and Ken Clarkson, but his algorithm is slower and not input sparsity. Yeah, and David and Ken Clarkson make it optimal. And also there are some similar projects called RIP, where like proposed by Kenderson and Tall, and they are only for k-sparse vector. Here we care about something like very different. we carry something like called coordinate embedding. The definition is following. So you only need to make sure like each coordinate on invitation is correct. Like this h is a vector you're going to multiply on the right hand side with your projection matrix. And then you need to make sure like warrants is small. And also you have high probability like infinite norm is small. And here the guarantee we provide here is just for fixed h. And we don't need to do unibound all the h in some space. We just work on fixed h. But the previous two guarantees they are like works for all the h in some space. So guarantee is somehow incomparable in some sense because we only care about the fixed one. They call it for all, but we have some L infinite norm guarantee in some sense. And this is enough for like a interior point method to open the solver and the chain don't blow up the error.
Right, so you only care about a fixed h.
Yeah, I only care about fixed h. We don't need to make it for all h. Yeah, that's very important. Because in LP solver, at most you will see only root n h, or like in h. But in here, the number of h could be exponential. Okay, so I'm just going to describe the main difference between LP and cutting plane. So LP takes root n iterations and roughly the same framework, but cutting plane takes n iterations. And in LP, like most time we just care about like p times h. We never care about diagonal entries. But in cutting plane, we need to care about diagonal entries, and it's important to decide which row to remove and which row to insert. And also, like in LP, A is fixed over all iterations, and in cutting plane, A is changing over all iterations. So here, just the high-level idea of what are the tools we are using for the cutting plane. We have some multiple layer data structure, and it's using combine a lot of like ideas like sketching, inverse maintenance, and polynomial interpolation, and some low rank update, and also some faster rectangular matrix multiplication. So in the rest of the slide, I will just give you a quick review of what are the matrix multiplication we are using. I think I will finish. I will finish in 5 minutes. Okay. All right. So this is like a square matrix multiplication. These are just trivial slides. You multiply two square matrix, and you get n for omega time. Okay. And omega is 2.37. True. Okay. And we write this way. And the next size is slightly harder. And instead of you want to multiply like one square matrix with another rectangular matrix. The surprising thing here is even alpha is bigger, is something like a 0.1 or 0.3. This only take like n squared time to do it. This is called like a rectangular matrix multiplication. And more surprising, like if even you want to output a square matrix, this still take like n squared plus or 1 time. I asked George Elmo, he's saying this only depends on rank. That's why these two are equivalent. And as so far we know like alpha is 0.3701, and we can write it this way. So in the next slide, I will give you a picture of like how is the difference between omega and alpha. So sigma like x-axis is some like a matrix n to the k you want to multiply, and the y-axis is the time you are going to spend. So if k equal to 0.1, it takes n squared time. And if k is equal to 1, it takes n to the omega time, which is 2.37. And then you can just go to Lageo paper, and he has a like a tool. You can just plot every dot here. You can draw a curve. And then you can draw a line here. So NVIDIA, like his LP algorithm and also like a cutting plane algorithm, he only uses a dot. Okay. And in our like LP paper, we use this line, and we also use this line. That's the main difference. And the more further, like in the cutting plane paper, we use something more crazy. Here the table of different kind of matrix multiplication. And the dual equivalent of multiplication saying like when we multiply two matrices, it takes n squared plus small 1. And sometimes, because in here our task is to remove a log factor, so we need to use this two row also. Like when actually need to pay extra log, and when actually you only just pay n squared. So roughly speaking, NVIDIA used the first row, and the LP paper used the first 2 rows, and this cutting plane paper used like an entire table to shape the log. Okay. And another core of the paper is we are saying we can show like if the fast rectangular matrix for this, like you want to get like polylog factor here, and if the beta is currently the beta is like a 0.1, 0.17. If the beta is bigger than like a 2 or 3, then you're actually a deterministic algorithm for cutting plane, running the same runtime, give the same runtime. And I'm just to quickly summarize. So classical cutting plane, it only works for convex setting. We can, it's only like an LP, SDP, and matrix, and some modular. And we can generalize to some other convex-concave setting, has more applications. And here is some example like where the kappa is actually 2 to the n, and we can improve some like a poly n factor.
Wait, is convex-concave not a convex program or something?
What?
What is convex-concave?
You have a function f, and the function f is convex in x and concave in y. And you want to set a saddle point of this function, like epsilon saddle point. Yeah, there are some applications. I have no idea. My coauthor put it here. So and we can improve some running time, like by some poly n factor. Yeah, there are some applications. I just convinced you guys this paper has some applications. Like a log, I just trying to convince like improve the log kappa is actually important. Okay. Here is a summary. Like in cutting plane, we need to deal with this projection matrix. The core idea is in LP we are delaying low rank update of the diagonal change of W. But in cutting plane, like every iteration A has to change rank 1, so you cannot delay. So we believe we don't know how to do it, and it seems to just you cannot beat this bottleneck. And also we depend on a bunch of new techniques and could potentially use other problems. And the classical setting only works for convex, and we jump to convex-concave. Yeah, thanks for attending. I'm just give some. Yeah, I just give some my opinion on AS quickly. Yeah, when I was a child, I feel like this is a very fantastic field for science, and but like now, like last time, like I'm saying like there are some food issue, like I complain, like Uber is not available, but like someone saying I complained, but I didn't give a proof, and also like I complain some food like they don't have free food for lunch, and some people complain to me I should also complain the food for dinner, there are no free one.
Okay, thank you very much.